Hello, happy Wednesday, and welcome to Badass College Apps, where we talk about applying to college and where we stop and take a breath. So it's nice to see that we have some people out there in the chat. If you'd like to say hello, go ahead and say hello and let us know how you're doing. And then we're going to begin today to just kind of talk about what is Badass College Apps, who I am, who is this crazy person trying to do this thing on YouTube about college admissions and applying to college, and what the whole point of it all is. So I just wanted to take a little bit and kind of like do a little welcome show where to teach you about, well, not to teach you, just to talk about what I'm trying to do with Badass College Apps and why I wanted to kind of create it. So let me just kind of like get going and let you see how we're going to do this. So today we're going to talk about Badass College Apps and stop and take a breath. To me, college admissions and applying to college is about more than where you go to college. It's about more than what you do when you get to college. It's about this transitional time period that you have when you get to dig in deep into yourself more than you ever have in your life and think about and learn about what you who you are, what's really important to you. So, what is Badass College Apps? Badass College Apps is this YouTube live stream that I've kind of created and have this idea that covers all aspects of applying to college. So, all the resources that I have, all the resources that I've created to share with my private students, all the advice that I have, all the support, all the plans, all the other stuff that you need for applying to college. But also, it's more than that. Also, it's a support system. It's a group where you can chat, ask questions, make comments, talk about whatever's important to you about college admissions, maybe chat with some friends about that you might make here, and connect with other people who really want to have an intentional approach to college admissions. People who know that it's about more than where they go to college, but about how they go about the process, how they dig in and get to know themselves more than they ever have, how they learn about themselves in ways that they never have. The college admissions journey can be transformational for you if you allow yourself to accept what the process is, if you allow yourself to understand who you are. I had this idea for Badass College Apps a few years ago, and I've been really wanting to figure out how I could do this. And so I thought about creating a class. I thought about creating, a book again. I thought about creating all these different ideas. And I kindly came to the idea that a YouTube channel where we could chat together and be together as a group, live streaming, or you could watch it recorded was the best way. So I'm hoping that's going to work. So, and then who am I? So I'm a teacher. For the last 15 years, I've been teaching for 30 years. So basically, since I graduated from high school, but I was always kind of a teacher, even before I went to college. And since graduating from college, I've been a teacher. But for the last 15 years, since hanging up my whiteboard erasers and putting them away, I've been before that, let me start that over. I was a writing teacher for the last 15 years. And before I decided to stop. So I basically stopped when my youngest went to college. I was a writing teacher in a community college. And as a community college writing teacher, I was teaching the personal essay. Teaching the personal essay is what led me toward wanting to be into college admissions. It's what brought me into college admissions because I was learning more about my students and I was watching my students grow as they kind of learned more about themselves. Also, I'm a mindfulness teacher. So I'm a teacher in all different ways. Mindfulness is kind of like learning to live your life with intention, to stop, focus on the present, stop, pay attention to the now, which is what I need to do because I need to stop and take a breath. So I'm going to do that right now because I can tell I'm really nervous. And so I'm just going to stop and I'm going to breathe in deep because sometimes you just have to interrupt what you're doing and take a breath and kind of like think about what you're trying to do here because I really felt like I was just like totally rambling. So I'm going to take a breath. Everybody out there, you want to take a breath with me? So let's breathe in and breathe out. Good. Thank you. So I'm a teacher. I was a writing teacher, and I'm also a mom to 3 amazing kids. So, as a writing teacher, and when I was a writing teacher, I was helping a lot of my community college students go through the college admissions process. I was helping them write their essays for transferring. I was helping them with their writing letters of recommendation. I was helping them do some research. At the same time I was doing that, I was also a mom to 3 kids who were applying to college and going off to college. And I really just loved what I saw within my own 3 children. I love the way that they kind of like, even though it was really hard and very stressful, I loved how I saw that they engaged and that they took time to think about what they wanted to share in their college applications. And they took time to think about what was so important to them and what they wanted out of their college experience. And I love that I saw that this transformational transition happening within my own children. But when I looked around at the world around me, the other kids in my kids' school, at the other parents who I was talking to, they were not feeling quite as happy and excited about college admissions as I was. They were experiencing a lot of stress. There was family breakdowns. I had families and friends who weren't talking to each other, and that really bothered me. And that's when I decided that I wanted to move into being able to help other families with this applying to college journey, with this admissions journey, in a way that maybe they could also understand the transitional transformation that can happen within their children and within their families. So that was kind of my why of why I did it. Thank you, Blue Triad. I really needed that deep breath, didn't I? So I have these 3 amazing kids, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them too, because they are such an important part of how I got here. And also they're part of my name, Admissions Mom. So I have Henry, who's my oldest, and Henry went to Vanderbilt, and he is a doctor now. He's a surgeon. He's in 4th year to to fellowships. And then I have Sarah, who went to Harvard, and now she's at Berkeley Law. Not really convinced she wants to be a lawyer, but still there. And she also has her own YouTube live stream, and she's been my inspiration for this in many, many, many ways. You can find her at Spear Maidens. And then I have Joseph, my youngest, who does motion design. He went to Tufts, and he works in LA doing motion design. So they're all out of college. They're all graduated. It's really fun being a mom to older kids. But they were also my inspiration into kind of like how the college admissions journey can work just by watching it with them. So when my youngest went to college, I decided to take a year off. I had a very sick mom, so I took care of her. And I also at that time, because I was dealing with a sick mom, that's when I really decided to kind of start learning more about mindfulness and to learn more about how to deal with my own stress. I took a year off, and then I just went into the UCLA College Counseling Certificate Program. I did a summer program at Swarthmore through ISCA, and I just started going to every single conference and anything I could possibly learn about college admissions to be able to educate myself more, because I was comfortable with the essay part, but I didn't know any other parts of college admissions other than what I'd experienced with my students or with my own children. I'm also a Reddit moderator. So in 2016, there's this Reddit called Are Applying to College. It's a subreddit. And so in 2016, I decided to jump onto Reddit. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really have any idea of what it was. But my family encouraged me to look into it, especially my youngest, told me to go check out Reddit. Maybe there was a place there where I could offer college advice and learn something on my own. So I found Are Applying to College in 2016. August 2016, we had 8,000 community members. Now we have over 600,000, 630,000 something, I think. And so that's a big part of what I do. And the reason why I'm an active member and a moderator of Are Applying to College is because we have students there from all over the world, and many, many, many of them don't have access to college counseling. So part of what's mostly important to me in my life is giving back, and also creating a place where students can learn as much as possible about college admissions and college access. And that's why I'm there. And I'm going to bring up Blue Triad's comment because I want to see it again. Thank you, Blue Triad. I really appreciate that. And I don't feel like I'm doing good at all because I can tell that I'm just totally rambling. And I knew that's what I was going to do tonight. So I'm going to be okay with that for now. All right. So what inspired me? Go back. So that's a picture of my mom there, by the way. And me. I'm the young one. She's the older one. So I call myself admissions mom for two reasons. Number one, I'm not an admissions expert, and I wanted to make sure that was very, very clear. I am a mom. I wanted to give mom advice. I wanted to give the same advice I would give my own children as I was working with them on their college admissions work. So I've never worked on either side of the admissions desk. I've never been an admissions officer. I've never been a high school counselor. But I am always learning more. And I think that's why I can't call myself an expert because there's so much to learn about college admissions. It's constantly changing. It's constantly shifting. And I could never really become an expert no matter how much work I did learning because there's so much more to learn. So I'm always learning more. I go to conferences on applying to college. I'm learning more. I go to tours and I learn from other consultants. Also, I named myself admissions mom in honor of my mom, of my own mom. So my mom went back to college when I went to college, and she had been a single mom at some point in our lives. My parents were divorced when I was very young. And then when I went to college, she went to college to graduate. She went on to get her master's and became an early childhood professor and the leader of her department in her school, in her college where she taught. But in addition to teaching early childhood and really being an advocate for the for the young children of the entire state of Texas, college access was very important to her. And she created a space where anyone could go to college and be involved in her classrooms and be involved in her department. And she inspired many, many, many generations of students actually to attend college in our small East Texas town. Watching my mom as I grew up, working with students applying to college, even before she became a college professor, and helping others going to college. And then after I went to college and watching her really take the time to get to know others was truly inspirational for me. When she died, my mom died in 2015, about 7 years ago, almost exactly. When she died, I was pretty lost because I'd been taking care of her for a couple of years. She was really sick for a couple of years. And I was thinking about what the best way to kind of, I guess, honor her would be. Like, how could I honor her? Because the one thing my mom had always taught me growing up is when I can't figure out what to do, to try to figure out how I can help someone else. And those words have always stuck with me. And after she died, I truly couldn't figure out what to do because I'd been taking care of her and my kids, and I was an empty nester. And so I was trying to figure out like what I was going to do with my life. And so I thought about like, how can I help other people? I knew I had this great interest in college admissions. I knew I loved teaching writing, and I knew I wanted to honor my mom. And so that also is what led me to applying to college, the subreddit, because there I found this group of people who not only needed college access work, but also a lot of stress and a lot of emotional upheaval about the whole college admissions experience. And I wanted to be able to help that there. So what is that, Carly? um, love face. Okay. Oh, great. Thanks, Blue Swarthmore. Blue Triad. Hold on one second. So I wanted to be able to give back more to her. Okay. So I'm going to just let y'all interrupt me here. Okay. So Blue Triad asked me, what was Swarthmore like? Because I want questions. Like, I'm totally good with questions. I like talking to other people more than talking to myself. So what was Swarthmore like? So Swarthmore was beautiful. First of all, it's like this stunningly gorgeous campus in this cute little town. I was at a program through the Independent Educational Consultants of America. So I wasn't there through Swarthmore. I was just staying on the campus there and taking classes through this other program. And it was amazing. So I definitely recommend it. I love their admissions director, Andrew Moe. He's fantastic. And if you're applying there or thinking about applying there, you should definitely go for it. It's a great place. So what's the point of Badass College Apps? So I can definitely tell y'all how to apply to college. I can give you like all the nitty gritty nuts and bolts and the deadlines, definitions, hints, tips. I do it all the time. I have all sorts of resources out there for you that I'm going to be sharing here too. But I can't tell you like, and I can do that easily. But I don't want Badass College Apps to just be that. I also want it to be like how to apply to college while discovering who you are, how to go about your admissions journey with an intentional, mindful methodology to all this madness. I want you to learn more about yourself than you ever have before. And it can be done. The nice and amazing thing about doing that is that by learning more about yourself than you ever have before, by digging in and taking a chance to figure out what you want about your college education, what the experiences are that you want, and then also by digging in and thinking about what you want to share about yourself and your essays, you are creating a stronger college application. I know for a lot of people that's hard to believe, but that really is the secret sauce to your college apps, is like figuring out who you are, figuring out what's important to you, and then being able to share that in a way that connects who you are with the college. And you can do that by incorporating mindfulness, by incorporating intention, and by stopping to take a breath. Because really, this is all about your life and how you live, and that's what matters. And in the end, your life is about so much more than college applications. And so if you're taking this time to really learn about yourself, you're going to be adding into your college applications. All right. So that's basically all I have to say about my welcome to Badass College Apps. And Blue Triad, do you have any other questions while you're here? Tell us where you're from. Or maybe you're not there anymore. Let's see, I'm going to remove this one. All right. I don't know if Blue Triad is still there or not, but that's okay. So if anybody else is out there in the chat and you want to say hello and tell me where you're from and ask questions about college admissions, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to ask. Oh, you're from India. Are you there right now? So it's in the morning, right? Ah, cool. So where all have you applied? Caitlin. So Blue Triad's from India. And you took a gap year before applying this year. Good luck for you. Okay, this is my niece, Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin. Nice to see you. Thanks for showing up today. Very cool. I'm glad to have you all here. So we're going to end this. This is going to be a really short broadcast today, where I just wanted to kind of introduce you to who it is and what we're doing. And then we're going to stop and we're going to take a breath and we're going to do a quick little mindfulness meditation. But first, I'm going to have Carly come on. And hi, Carly.
Hi.
I had you on the whole time to be talking to you because I didn't like talking to myself. So Carly, tell me a little bit about who you are and where people can find you. So Carly is my assistant. She's my fabulous assistant. And I'm going to let her tell you some more and then I'll fill in.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm from Portland, Oregon. I'm currently a freshman at a community college. And you can really find me just on Reddit and Discord. I'm mainly on the Applying to College Discord server if you want to join there. The link is just /A2C. So
cool. So Carly is another moderator at A2C. And she's like our queen moderator. She keeps everything going. She's like the one who like helps us like all stay coordinated in together. And then she runs the Discord, the A2C Discord. So I'm glad that I'm super lucky to have her with me here. And you can find me all over the place too, by the way. I'm Admissions Mom. You can find me on Instagram as Admissions Mom. You can find me on Twitter as Admissions Mom. You can find me on Reddit as Admissions Mom. And you can also check out my website, www.admissionsmom.college, where I have a lot of information and I have a blog, and you can like read all about how to apply to college with some mindfulness applied in there too. So Blue Triad says, I applied to Swarthmore and some other colleges. I love your description of Swarthmore, actually. That's great, Blue Triad. I really, really, really hope that everything works out for you. And you'll have to keep coming back and letting us know how it goes. Are you finished applying, Blue Triad? And Caitlin, what about you? Are you all done? You're done with the process, right? So Carly, let's talk. I'm going to talk to you for a second while they're maybe writing their answers. So did you decide to go to community college from the beginning? Is that what your initial plan was, your senior year in high school?
I did a weird thing where I went to Arizona State for a year, and then I took a gap year, and then I went to community college. Okay. Just because once COVID hit, I realized things weren't working out. So I just needed a break from college. And then I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I was like, I don't think it's a smart idea to pay tens of thousands of dollars for 4 years when I'm not even sure what I'm going to do. So I wanted to try community college because it's a bit cheaper.
Yeah, what a great idea and great plan. And I think that just goes to show that like there's no one set direction for your college education or your life in general. You know, I kind of like to say that like life zigs when you think it's going to zag. And I mean, I think we have all experienced that with the COVID and the pandemic. But, you know, it zigs when you're going to zag and it zags when you're going to zig. Yeah, so those of you who aren't quite sure what's going on and how your college admissions experience is gonna go for you, just know that like you really don't know. That's why it's so important to gain what you can out of the admissions journey, other than where you're going to be, because things change. You know, life changes. So let's see. Caitlin's committed to SFA. Excellent, Caitlin. That's Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches. For those of you from around the world, that's a really cute small town in Texas, and that's a state university. So for those of you watching from all around the world, I hope that, you know, I'll probably be redoing this. I'll be honest with you, because like I was so nervous. I need to practice more. I can clearly. But I'm going to leave this one up here because it's all about learning, you know, and a learning experience. So, so now we're going to just like jump in and do a little meditation and a little mindful meditation. I think I'm just going to do the same one I've been doing. Is that okay with you, Carly?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let me grab my bowl. So I'm going to show my bowl for those of you who, this is so weird, this backwards camera. This bowl is actually from Kathmandu, Nepal, and it's a meditation bowl. So what I'm going to do, and I hope you'll join me if you're in the chat right now, I hope you'll join me. And if this is recorded and you're watching from home, I hope you'll join me in just kind of like taking a minute. God knows I need it right now because I'm so nervous, to just sit and be present. To just sit and be in the moment and allow yourself to breathe, allow yourself to stop. We are so busy in our lives right now. You know, I am doing all these things, trying to work with my private students, be on A2C, trying to work through Badass College Apps. You all are doing your financial aid forms, you're finishing up your applications, you're doing whatever you need to do in school. You might have jobs, you have extracurriculars. And it's really important in trying to do everything to just stop and breathe. And so I'm going to guide you through that. So what I'd like for you to do first is just put your feet kind of down on the ground. If you're in a place when you can do that, or if you're sitting on the ground, that's fine. But just find some grounding in the ground and kind of connect with the earth. That's what I like to say. And then your hands, so screwed up by this camera. With your hands, you can either open them up to gather energy from the earth, or you can put them down on your legs to kind of gather energy from within yourself. So like you can be open or closed. It's up to you, whatever feels best to you, whatever feels most comfortable to you. I generally like to keep my hands open, but you can decide what you like to do. And then I encourage you to gently close your eyes or look at the floor or just look down and just kind of like think about your breathing. Just think about your breath. There's nothing to do, nothing wrong here. Just acknowledge that you're breathing. Just notice your breathing. And then I'm going to say some words, and I want you to just think those words in your head. I want you just to repeat them back to yourself in your head. Or if you're at home and you want to say them out loud, you can. That's fine. And we're going to spend about a minute and a half just sitting and breathing. So I want you to inhale and exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Now you can just repeat these words in your head. I am who I am. This is what it is. May I accept things as they are. May I trust in the unfolding. I am who I am. This is what it is. May I accept things as they are. May I trust in the unfolding. I am who I am. This is what it is. May I accept things as they are. May I trust in the unfolding. I am who I am. This is what it is. May I accept things as they are. May I trust in the unfolding. In a few seconds, I'm going to bang on my bowl. And I want you to hold on to that sound as long as you can. And then you can gently open your eyes. See how long you can hear the sound. Great. Oh, that one went a long time that time. Yeah, so that is an equanimity meditation. And equanimity means kind of acceptance of the situation. It doesn't mean that you just accept anything that bad that happens to you. Sometimes it can mean accepting that, like, oh, I've got to work on things. But it's also like when you're applying to college, it's hard because so much is out of your control. And you really do have to have this certain level of acceptance. So, like Blue Triad, if you're applying to Swarthmore and some other colleges, Swarthmore is like a highly, highly, highly selective / rejective college. And once you've put forth the best application that you can, you don't really have a whole lot of control in this situation because you're giving it to someone else. And that's a really scary thing. And that's why I like to do this equanimity meditation at the end, because it's like acknowledging and allowing that things might not go the way you planned and that you don't have ultimate control over what's going to happen. And so the best way to kind of deal with that is to start accepting it early on. So that's why I like to share that one. So for those of you who are watching on the recording, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so sorry about stumbling over my words. For those of you who were here with me and kind of stuck with me, I really, really appreciate it, especially because I was stumbling over my words. I was really nervous today. But, I'm going to learn from that experience. I'm going to learn from being nervous and think about what I can do in the future. And I really appreciate everybody's being here with us. And those of you who are watching the recording, thanks so much for joining, and we will see you later. So we're going to stop and take a breath. Oh, okay. So you've been with Badass College Apps, where we talk about applying to college. And Carly, can you finish?
Where we stop and take a breath.
Thank you. Yay. All right. Goodbye, everybody.